Hey everyone, and welcome to Erin's Dollhouse. So today we are going to be doing a very interesting video about these two Barbies that I found that I think are just so fascinating and also kind of bizarre. But yeah, essentially, apparently at some point, it was like 9 years ago, I want to say, is what I could find on them. They came out with these two dolls for Dreamtopia, and they are 17-inch tall Barbies. So very, very fascinating. I was gonna say, I know typically for like a lot of doll collectors, usually when you think 17-inch doll, you probably think about like a Disney limited edition doll. But yeah, these are 17-inch Barbie dolls. So I've got them both right here. This is one of them. This is our blonde girly. It's not gonna fit both of them with their boxes. They're huge. And then this is our brunette AA Barbie. So yeah. The blonde one, all of her stuff is like still intact in her packaging, but unfortunately, our brunette girly, yeah, everything's just shaking around in there, but it's okay. So, and yeah, I think they are super fun. I actually don't think that their outfits are really that horrible. Like, honestly, this was definitely, because it was definitely around the time when, you know, things started to get bad quality wise for Barbie, but it wasn't like the worst. It just wasn't great. Um, but yeah, I've got both those dolls here, and I'm excited to unbox them and talk about them because these are the only like 17-inch Barbies that I'm aware of, like at least of the 17-inch size that were ever made. So it's very random and kind of bizarre that they even exist. But I do know though that this was also kind of around that time when there seemed to be like a market for 17-inch dolls. So maybe that's why they exist. Yes, I know I said they are from Barbie Dreamtopia, and I know exactly what you guys are thinking. Ugh. Okay, when the line started, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. When it started, it just progressively got worse. But yeah. So I mean, as far as like dolls of this size go, this kind of technically goes all the way back to it's like, you know, the Disney store. They used to have like these 17-inch like singing playline dolls. They still have the limited editions, but the actual singing playline dolls because they were playline. And then it's like after that, then we saw they ended up coming out from Monster High with Calliope, and she was the first ever 17-inch Monster High doll. So she was a character that was just naturally really big. Then they, of course, you know, Monster High also did like the Frightfully Tall series. And yeah, those were also like the same size as Calliope, also 17 inches. Then they also, after the Frightfully Tall series, they, around that time, also had Ever After High. And, oh god, I'm trying to remember her name. But it's the daughter of the Mad Hatter. They also made a 17-inch doll of her. So that was again also around that time. And then, yeah, then they have 17-inch Barbie dolls. So, you know, apparently at one point, based on all of that knowledge, there was like a market for this. So I don't think that market exists anymore today, but there was a market at one point for Playline dolls that were of this size. So yeah, that's probably why they don't make them anymore. That and they're just probably more expensive to make. But anywho, enough babbling. Let's go ahead and get these girlies out of the box and just talk about them and all of their like fun little accessories and just how randomly huge they are. All right. All right, so I've got both of them out of their boxes, and wow. Yeah, no, I was gonna say these are very big girlies. I also just realized that I don't like have a stand that's big enough for them. So we're gonna kind of like hold them up and look at them together. Yeah. um, I was gonna say let's go ahead and start here with our AA Barbie. Um, and I was actually, quite surprised because again, I know that these are like Playline dolls. And they're part of the Dreamtopia line. So I wasn't expecting much quality from the dresses, and not saying that they're like, oh my god, quality, but they're pretty decent. Like, there's, we've got this like top layer here with this kind of ombre coloring with the purple and the pink. And then we've got like another layer here, and then another layer here. So, the skirt has 3 layers. So I'll give credit where credit is due because it's not a horrible dress. Yeah. But interestingly enough though, and I don't know if maybe that's just with how it was stored or what, but for some reason the hair on this one feels different than the hair on the other one. So I don't know if it was just a different hair fiber that was used, because this one feels like a little bit kind of drier, and then the other one feels more soft. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But either or, as you can see, she has a lot of hair. And that's wonderful. I love it when Barbies have like over dramatic long hair. I think that's super, super fun. And then she's got these like wonderful like purple streaks in it. I think that's super cute in the way that looks. And other than like, the dress and everything, which again is like really, really fun, and the length of the hair, these dolls, okay, I'm gonna just stay. Okay. Other than like the length of the hair and the dress, they have pretty decent articulation for these like very large Playline Barbie dolls. So obviously we've got articulation in the shoulder, we have articulation in the elbow, articulation in the wrist. We have we have a knee joint, which is fun. There's no articulation in the ankle, which is fine. I don't think that's really necessary. And this one actually surprised me because I realized it while I was like getting them out of the box. We have articulation here, which is really interesting. So yeah, that I definitely was not expecting. So, these dolls are actually like pretty decently articulated. I know they're not like made to move articulated, but they're pretty close, I would say. So it was definitely surprising to see that much articulation. And then, let me see. Yeah, it looks like the head has pretty much the same type of articulation you would get on like, you might not be able to like pull it back that much, but you can kind of do it. But yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, either or, like I said, these are Playland dolls, and I'm just surprised at the articulation that they do have, especially for the size and everything, because I feel like if these would have been, well, honestly, let's be real, if these would have been made today, this probably would have been a molded on top, not a fully removable outfit like this is. And yeah, they would not have had this much articulation. I could definitely say the knee joint probably wouldn't exist, and this extra joint up here probably also wouldn't exist at the least. Um, but yeah, so that is her. Again, she goes for more of a purple color scheme, and then she's got like purple in her tiara, and she has a gorgeous face, by the way. I love her face. Super, super pretty. So let me just put her right here for a second, and then grab her, our little blonde girl. So yeah, again, same amount of articulation as the other one. This is essentially the same dress too, just a different color scheme. Um, I do kind of like the color scheme a little bit more on this dress though, because I'm a big fan of anything with blue in it. So yeah, same amount of layers and everything. And then it's like we got this top layer and then this layer and then this layer. Oh, I didn't really talk about the shoes that much. They're kind of cute. They're almost like a sandal style shoe with like a bow on the front of them, so that's kind of fun. Nothing like super spectacular, but I feel like considering where the budget had to be for a doll, of this size, the shoes weren't really going to be anything spectacular. But once again, you can see she has super long hair, just like the other one. Her hair's a little, yeah. But honestly, it's not the worst box hair. I'm gonna be completely real. Like this is pretty decent for box hair. So pretty impressed by that. She also has a very cute face. I'm pretty sure this is also the Millie face mold, just like enlarged. Which honestly, I feel like it would have been more fun to just do a different face mold enlarged. Maybe even have brought back like the Generation Girl face mold. I think would have been fun. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I know we all have strong feelings about Millie, but hey, it's cute. It gets the job done. Yeah, and then she's got like pink in her tiara, and then her pink streaks in her hair instead of the purple ones, which I think is super duper fun. And then yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at their accessories. What is happening over here? Anywho, I was gonna say, let's just let the girls be gay. I see they're very fond of each other. Giving kind of a similar vibe to Protected. Okay, so yeah, accessories. So they both come with a hairbrush, like these very large hairbrushes. Apparently they like all right, that was a struggle. They open up and you can put all of their other accessories inside. So it becomes a storage thing, which is fun. I think that these are like really fun though. The design on the back, where it's like the Barbie, like I can't think of the word, but either or, it's like the outline of Barbie, and then like the hair kind of like turns into the handle. So I think that's super fun. So they both come with an additional tiara. One is pink, one is purple, same exact mold. They both come with a headband that has like a bow and like pearls. One is pink, one is blue. They have an additional headband. One is purple with blue, and then one is pink with blue. Super duper fun. They each come with like a little bow clip that you can put in their hair. And then these little like hair clips. Well, they're not clips, but like it's like a comb that you kind of like stick into their hair. So that's super fun. But yeah, I was gonna say they come with a lot of fun accessories. I feel like it would have been nice if they would have each come with like an additional outfit. Um, just because of their size and everything, it's gonna be like really hard to find clothing for them. Essentially, they kind of have to stay in this outfit. But yeah, no. Other than that, I think they're fine for what they are. I I like the fact that they have super long hair. I like that they have color in their hair. I like that their dress actually has like 3 layers and is fully removable. And I think that they are like really cute dolls, like for what they are. So yeah, very, like I said, very interesting, very bizarre Barbie dolls that it's like they randomly just made them and then they never made 17-inch Barbie dolls again after that. So interesting. I think it was also because when they were made, it was kind of like right at the end of where the market really was for having playline dolls of this size. So maybe that's why. Anywho, but yeah, I think they are super duper fun. If you couldn't tell, they're gonna be a couple, and they've already fallen in love, and that's great for them. We love it. But that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, they're very strange, very bizarre, the fact that they exist and then never existed again afterwards, but here we are. If any of you guys have these dolls in your collection, what's your favorite thing about them? Or if any of y'all never knew that these even existed, because I didn't know until recently, share about that in the comments. That's, like I said, that's pretty much it. If you did enjoy the video, definitely give it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more fun doll content, unboxings, discussions, all kinds of fun things. And also check out my Instagram at Erin's Dollhouse. I will definitely be posting a lot of fun photos of these girlies. So yeah. Oh, one more thing I did want to share. So I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, but this just gives you an idea of how much bigger they are than a regular Barbie. So yeah. Alright guys, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please subscribe. Have a good one.